Welcome to this Arnall-Culliford knitwear tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to graft together two sets of stitches. This is also called Kitchener stitch, and it's a really good way of joining two sets of stitches really smoothly and seamlessly. It's often used at the toe of a sock or tops of mittens or anywhere where you want the join to be almost invisible. This swatch demonstrates the toe of a sock, which is a really common place to have to graft together two sets of stitches. We've got our stitches arranged parallel to each other on two separate needle tips, and we have the right side of the fabric outermost facing us. We've broken off the end of the working yarn and threaded it onto a tapestry needle, and we're going to work through to join the two sets of stitches seamlessly. So each stitch will get worked through twice, so we have to work a setup step to get started. On the front needle, we're going to pass the tapestry needle through the front stitch purlwise, and then we're going to pass the tapestry needle through the first stitch on the rear needle knitwise. That's our setup for those first two stitches, and now we're going to work across the stitches in a series of 4 steps: knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit. So on the front needle we pass the tapestry needle through the stitch knitwise and slip it off, that's the knit slip, and then through the second stitch purlwise, and you're leaving that one on. And then on the rear needle, purlwise and slip it off, and then knitwise and leave it on. Pull the yarn through just roughly. I don't try to tighten it too much at this point. It's easier to tighten it up than it is to loosen it off. So let's repeat that process again. Knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit. And I always try to repeat, to complete rather, that set of 4 steps before pausing. If anybody wants to talk to me, I will do a whole set of knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit. And then I always know where I am in my grafting process. So you continue to do those 4 steps until you reach the final stitch. I'm keeping the working yarn under the knitting needle tips, but unhooking it if it gets caught on the fabric. And if you're working a long stretch of stitches, you could stop every 10 stitches or so and tighten them up. Here it was only 8 on each needle, so I'll tighten them all at the end. I've worked the final set of 4 steps, and I can't now work 4 steps on this last repeat because I haven't got a second stitch on the needle. So all you do to finish it off is you do the knit, slip, there's no purl to work, so you just miss that out, and then purl, slip, and there's no knit, so you just miss that out. Okay, our grafting line looks pretty messy at the moment, so what we now need to do is to gently work along and tighten up those stitches to make the graft line completely invisible. So we take one of the baggy stitches at the far right and just gently tug on it until the stitches seem to be about the same size as those in the surrounding fabric. And then we work along the line, just gently tightening it up so that all of the stitches in the fabric look really even And again, you can tighten it up a bit and leave them a bit bigger, and then go along and work another round of tightening up. That's easier than pulling them too tight to begin with and having to try to loosen them. That's a real pain. And as you can see, those stitches now meet each other pretty invisibly. You could spend a little while just evening up all the last bits until you're happy with how it looks. There's one other tip that I think is really handy to remember what you're doing and which way round it is. So if the basic pattern is knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit, you can remember that it's the front needle that should be knit slip, because you're looking at the knit side of the fabric on the front needle. So the knit comes first because that's what you can see. On the rear needle, the fabric that's facing you is the purl side of the fabric. So that's why, or that's how you remember that that rear needle is the purl slip side. So all you need to remember is knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit. I hope you're now feeling really confident closing the toes of your socks and working your grafts. If you'd like to find out more about our tutorials and books, do visit www.acknitwear.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching.